Are China and Japan slipping into a new Cold War? And did it all begin with one sentence? Because what's happening right now isn't a minor diplomatic flare. It's fast, sweeping backlash already hitting tourism, trade, entertainment, and education. In just a few days, thousands of Chinese tourists cancelled their trips to Japan. More than 543,000 tickets, nearly 40% of all bookings were dropped after airlines offered free cancellations. And nearly 1 in 5 flight routes between the two countries has now been suspended. For Japan, this is more than a travel disruption. Chinese tourists are its largest visitor group, and losing them delivers an immediate blow. But the fallout didn't stop at airports and goes much further. Chinese film distributors have postponed multiple Japanese releases. Even Demon Slayer saw its box office revenue collapse overnight. And in a sharper economic move, Beijing has suspended imports of Japanese seafood, hitting a major Japanese export sector just months after previous trade disputes.
据我了解，日方此前承诺履行输华水产品的监管责任，保障产品质量安全，这是日本水产品输华的先决条件。但是日方目前未能提供所承诺的技术材料。我还想强调的是，近期由于日本首相高市早苗倒行逆施，在台湾等重大问题上错误言论，引起中国民众的强烈公愤。当前形势下，即使日本水产品向中国出口，也不会有市场。
So what triggered all this? It all started with a single comment from Japan's new Prime Minister Sani Takaichi on November 7th. She said that if China attacked Taiwan, it would create a survival-threatening situation for Japan, essentially implying Tokyo could respond militarily. And why does this single remark matter when leaders talk about Taiwan all the time? This broke a long-standing diplomatic norm. For years, Japan, the US, and their allies followed a policy of strategic ambiguity on Taiwan, never clearly saying whether they would interfere. Takaichi's remark removed that ambiguity, and China's reaction to this was swift and extreme, turning a diplomatic comment into a fast-moving regional crisis.
我们在这个关键的时刻，我们也要支持日本能够有效的去稳定局面，那阻止中共的霸凌行为。
These tensions are also unfolding at a particularly sensitive moment. Japan is preparing to vote on its largest ever defense budget, with plans to raise military spending to 2% of GDP, a move strongly encouraged by Washington and strongly opposed by Beijing. And it's a delicate moment for US-China relations too. Washington and Beijing are in the middle of trade negotiations, while US President Donald Trump is expected to be in Beijing in April. But what makes this moment explosive is the history. This year marks the 80th anniversary of Japan's surrender in the Second World War. Millions of Chinese civilians died under Japanese occupation, and wartime atrocities remain deeply embedded in China's national memory. Beijing has been using the anniversary to revive that history through documentaries, school materials, and state media, portraying Japan as crossing dangerous lines again. So when a Japanese prime minister hinted at military involvement over Taiwan, it collided directly with months of heightened historical sentiment. Meanwhile, the economic stakes are enormous. With $308 billion in bilateral trade last year, China is Japan's biggest economic partner. It also sent the most tourists and the largest share of international students, giving Beijing powerful levels of influence. China is also the world's second largest movie market, accounting for 20% of global box office revenue, which explains why entertainment cut hits Japan so hard. And China has activated those pressure points. Chinese citizens make up the largest group of international students in Japan, and Beijing's Ministry of Education has now advised them to closely monitor the security situation. That advisory alone touches a politically sensitive nerve in Japan's service sector, which relies heavily on Chinese students, tourists, and entertainment consumers. And this isn't the first clash. China and Japan have a long history of flare-ups, including the fierce 2012 standoff over the Senkaku Islands, which triggered mass protests, boycotts, and a collapse in Japanese tourism. But this moment is far more combustible. Takaichi, a hardline nationalist leader who took office only last month, is known for her strong support for Taiwan. As a lawmaker, she visited the island several times, most recently in April. Now you have a sharply worded Taiwan remark, a new Japanese prime minister, Japan's rising military budget, strained US-China talks, and an emotionally charged Second World War anniversary. all of it has combined to turn a single diplomatic statement into a full-blown economic and political crisis. These tensions threaten to put a tangible dent in Japan's economy, which is already looking shaky.